Good morning. Welcome to one more morning from Charlotte, North Carolina. The guys are practicing today, and then we are heading onward to Philadelphia as this road trip continues. We are done with the two Patsies, and now we'll play a little basketball. Ooh, my throat is sore this morning. I hope you are well. I mentioned this yesterday in case you guys didn't hear it. I do want to mention it again. I think it's a neat opportunity for some of you. I'll try to make it quick. That is that our friends over at Groove Satellite are looking for summer sales associates. They're having an event at the new Groove VIP Lounge. It's actually not open yet. It's coming on Friday. It's coming on Saturday. They're an hour before each of our games, and then you get to stick around and watch the game in the VIP lounge, which should be pretty darn cool. This is they got pizza and stuff like that for you, and they do it well, and it's a good company, great opportunity to be a part of. The only thing I would just mention to you is it's not just to show up and eat free pizza stuff. It's if you're legitimately interested in working for them, you need to call Tyler at 801-834-8614, 801-834-8614, or email Tyler at getgroovin.com. Tyler at getgroovin.com. All right. The NBA is a little wacky right now. Everybody is kind of tripping out about it. And then, I don't know, I guess this is one of those mornings where I'm feeling awfully good about the work we do because I don't see it as that wacky. I don't really expect the Lakers to go to Detroit and to go to Washington and lose back-to-back games. But when the work that we've shown statistically shows that at 40,000 minutes, players don't recover, they decline in their careers, and that no player has 40,000 minutes has ever led his team to the NBA Finals as the primary player, won his conference. And the Lakers are suddenly 15th offensively. The other day I sent out the numbers, people were outraged of who Kobe Bryant is comparable to as a player right now in the NBA. And of course, the reaction, I always love this reaction to numbers. The reaction was not, wow, that's really telling about Kobe Bryant. It was that if my numbers say that, then my numbers are stupid. Really? Because you just lost to Detroit and you just lost to Washington. Back to back games. Maybe there's something to the fact that your supposed best player is now functioning at just a slightly above average level. And the fact that his numbers are the exact same as Aaron Aflalo, Marcus Thornton, Paul George. If I told you that Marcus Thornton, Paul George, or Aaron Aflalo was taking 30 shots with Pau Gasol and Andrew Bynum on the floor, you'd think that was the wrong move for a team. Funny. So that's the first thing that's going on is the Lakers are a pretty big mess. The Clippers are 9-10 without Chauncey Billups after Darren got Chris Paul again last night. Okay, again, the key to their whole thing was that Chauncey Billups, who's one of the most efficient players, two parts that were key to them. One part was a concern the whole year that I've talked about the whole year, and the other was the key to them. Chauncey Billups was using 15 possessions a night. He is simply one of the most efficient players in the NBA at using a possession. He averages about 0.97 points per possession, which is one of the best in the NBA. Chris Paul's better, but he was still using 15 possessions. Those 15 possessions are going to Randy Foye, who's at 0.87. Sorry, my voice really hurts this morning. I'm going to have to cut this short. 0.87 points per possession. And you're going to give another some odd possessions to Mo Williams, who averages 0.97. And you're going to sit around stunned that your team's less good. You've brought in Kenyon Martin, who is far less efficient than most players, and you were never a good defensive team. Okay, and everyone's stunned. Check mark. Um, the Knicks are 2-5 with Carmelo returning. I don't even need to continue. I mean, I really don't even need to continue, do I? That's not stunning. Carmelo's having a terrible year. He uses a ton of possessions. You lose. I'm going to bring this up every day. It's just so rudimentary. If the guy on your team who takes the most shots, or even the second guy, averages on that night less than 1 point per shot attempt, very simple. You don't need to even get into figuring out possessions or anything like that. 1 point per shot attempt, you're going to lose. Every time. I mean, I'm just going to go out on a limb here. Inexplicable, the Denver, and that Denver's the one where I'd say the numbers haven't added up this year. Denver is really the team where the final 5 minutes of a game, they're so injured though, are different than any other aspect of the game. And they simply just can't close games. But let's see. Al Harrington took 20 shots last night, 22 points, so it does not classify. Antoine Jameson, 21 shots, had 33 points. But if you run a good day for a usually inefficient player. But if you go and look at the box score of most games and you find the player, doesn't happen in every game, who took the most shots, if he has less points than shot attempts, you lose. I mean, it's almost guaranteed. And last night, Kobe for the Lakers, 31 shot attempts, 30 points. And everyone will want to tell, well, Kobe had 30, he must have been good. No, he wasn't. Washington almost lose that game because Nick Young was 19-19. Maybe the thing that jumps out to me the most right now is that the Utah Jazz have a better record than the Portland Trailblazers. I mean, I was out with some of the coaches and guys last night, and we were talking about that. I mean, that's just incredible. Totally incredible. Really find it hard to believe. So those are the kind of things. Now what's going on there is not entirely clear. But those are some of the things going on in the league that are just crazy to me right now, or at least crazy to everyone, but yet when you dig into it, they actually make a lot of sense. Excuse me. The throat is sore this morning. Hope you got a chance to hear the Gordy Chiesa podcasts. Thought they were always love talking to Gordy. Hopefully, you can have two more things coming your direction, though. This voice may change that. Jazz standpoint. 2 wins on the road. We're not good enough. We complain about road wins. Bottom line. Jefferson's been brilliant, and he went up against Ryan Hollins and Bismack Biyombo. And I'm not taking it away from him, but he better kick their ass. If you don't kick their ass, we got a problem. Serious, significant problem. I will say my theory on Al has always been that I really wonder whether or not he's not a scorer, a big postman who should be playing more against second-tier big guys to get him to be more efficient. Now, everybody in theory is better against second-tier big guys. And so the fact that Al doesn't have a good game against Bynum or Gasol or something like that's not totally stunning. Or Joakim Noah probably on Saturday. But Al is your primary guy statistically on this whole conversation of stats has never shown the ability to be efficient enough to be a lead guy. And he uses a lot of possessions. And so I wonder whether his game is actually more suited that he is your second team big who just crushes these inferior players. Now, his passing is completely different than what we've seen before. And pretty interesting, but again, let's wait and see. Uh, the no turnovers is amazing. 12 assists in 2 games. It's not, by the way, it's not totally different than we've never seen before. He has little spurts in his career where he's done this before. So let's keep an eye on that. Favors is playing great. Favors is clicking in. Those are 3 of the best games I've seen out of Favors yet. The thing that's too bad right now in the rotation is that Favors is on the floor with Cantor. Cantor starts to struggle. Favors goes out of the game. There's got to be some level here. Excuse me. Of Favors stays on the floor. And Paul still doesn't look right to me. I don't have any idea what's going on with Paul. But Favors' defense right now is incredible. Hard to argue this when Al's had the last 2 games that he's had, but I might argue that Favors is the best big on the roster right now. I understand he's limited offensively, but I also, as you all know, like to point out that there are as many offensive possessions as defensive possessions. Otherwise, I don't have a huge takeaway from those last 2 games other than those teams are terrible. And I did not leave with great faith on Bismack Biyombo. Our debate internal, last night was whether or not you can teach hands. And that kid can't catch it. And I'm not sure you can teach hands. I was joking in the broadcast or saying in the broadcast that maybe he's Mo Sene. I don't think that's true because the kid works. He was in at 10 a.m. In the morning, and Mo Sene didn't work. But I think it'll be interesting to watch. He may have a career. He's just so big, so long, and such a shot blocker. But with that said, I'm not convinced he has a big one. Let me see. Let me make sure. I haven't checked the tip-off questions. I got some good ones. I was reading them today. A lot of trade proposals right now in my tip-off questions, which is probably largely why you're not getting them. Who has the highest trade value on the roster other than our 4 young guys? CJ's expiring contract, Raja for a veteran team, or Millsap as a complimentary piece if we're not asking for a lot back. Have I seen a change in the demeanor of Favors? No, I just think he's getting better. His demeanor never changes. Sidney Lowe's interesting. Sidney Lowe recruited him for 3 or 4 years, so they go way back. They know each other really, really well. I think we're awfully close to Faves giving Ty no choice. Yes. The Bob 6 is the one who pointed out to me the Jazz record is better than Portland, which is just totally stunning to me. Final thing. Everyone's up in arms about CJ getting minutes. The general talk I get when I ask people about this, and I don't get this. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't get it. So I'm probably with you, but this is the feeling is that you just can't wrong a guy like that. You just can't take a guy from 22 minutes to nothing. That's talking to people. That's their feeling. That you got to do it gradually, progressively. That's what Ty's doing. He's doing this correctly. He's earning a lot of respect from the players for it. He's earning respect from not only the people involved, but also the veterans of how he's approaching it, and that when it's over, there's no choice, and you just move forward, and then no one's got a gripe. I guess. I'm probably, usually 95% of the time, I'm sitting here tempering you guys to calm down. And this one, I'm with you. See? I can be a freak, too. Have a good one. Sorry for the voice. I'll try to get this together by tomorrow for Philadelphia and Chicago back-to-back.